Hello there, citizens of the galaxy called Dallas. James here, and it's Friday. I hope everybody had a great week and looking forward to a wonderful weekend. And prayers for everyone in Southeast Texas and Southwest Louisiana and on up through the state of Louisiana, going through Hurricane Laura and the aftermath of all that. So prayers for you and rooting for you there. In the meantime, on Friday, it's something I've wanted to start doing is, what are you reading? Basically, I will tell you what I'm reading, and hopefully you'll comment back and let us know what you're reading and kind of spread the word about your favorite books out there. I just recently posted a photo on Instagram of my stack of books, and usually my bedside table is it's stacked with books. And this goes back to when I was a kid. My dad and my mom would take me to the library, and I would come out with a stack of books. And I was notorious for taking it home. And of course, kids' books are chapter books. You know, at least back when I was a kid in the late 70s, hitting the library, you know, you could get books that maybe had 10 or 15 chapters. You read a chapter a night, and within a week or two, by the time you need to turn the books back in, you're done. Well, I would take home what my limit was. And I think at the time I could get like anywhere between 5 and 10 books. So I'd come out with a stack of books, and I would go home and I would read a chapter out of every single book that night. And I would do that every night to keep me on schedule to be able to turn them back in. And of course, as you get older with older books or adult books and things like that, they forgo chapters. Some books don't have chapters, and they're just one long read, or they may have plenty of chapters, and they give you a chance to maybe read 3 or 4 chapters in a night where you'd normally read 1 chapter. And so even though I've got all those chapters to worry about, I don't necessarily stick to the 1 chapter each night, but I try to read as much as I can out of each book throughout the day or throughout a couple of days. And sometimes, for those of you that have been keeping up with my personal feed, I started 1984 way back in January. And it's such a, I'm not going to say a dull book, it's such a bleak book. And of course, if you've seen the movie or read any of the book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Winston Smith, you know, the hero, yay, doesn't have a happy ending. And I also blame my slow reading on that for the reason we have 2020 the way it is. So I finished up 1984 the other night, so hopefully 2020 will turn out really good here in the next couple of days, catch up, hoping. In the meantime, what I'm reading right now is a mix of some nonfiction with my fiction, and I'm always trying to better myself. I've got lots of room for improvement, and so one of the books that I read a long time ago was The 1 Minute Manager and Who Moved My Cheese, and they're by Spencer Johnson, who passed away just a couple of years ago. But I'm reading kind of updates on that. There is Out of the Maze, and there is The 1 Minute Father, which anytime I can find a book that's this thin and can give me help on how to raise my daughter and make sure that she turns out to be a good person, I want to read it. And I read this I could have read it in one night, but I was already late. The original 1 Minute Manager, 3 things that you concentrate on. You've got the 1 minute reprimand, the 1 minute praise, and then there's 1 minute goals. That means keeping your goals simple and actionable, something that you can read on in 1 minute and decide if you're actually doing well or not. This book kind of takes a follow-up to that and applies it towards raising your children. And I guess I had already been applying it because I was reading this and going, well, I'm really already doing a lot of this. And it's the same thing with your kids. Just like you would manage adults, you manage your children kind of the same way, and you give them 1 minute reprimands. You don't agonize over it all day long and keep telling the child, you did wrong, you did wrong, you did wrong. You keep it down to a minute and explain to them what they did wrong, your emotions from it, and then you tell them you love them and that's not them as a person. They can do better, move on, and so that way they know that it's not them as a person that's bad. It's just their bad habits or their something that they did like that. And I really love the book, and it's something that a lot of adults out there could probably use. Again, One Minute Manager is a great book in itself, and just not just dealing as a managerial type person, but just in general dealing with people. Be sure, if you've got a problem with somebody, tell them what the problem is. This is what I didn't like you doing. This is what I wanted you to do, but that's not you as a person. I like you as a person. We just need to work on this habit. And that a lot of people can use that. Then Out of the Maze, whereas Who Moved My Cheese was all about when your goals you can't attain your goals, it's changing, kind of rethinking your goals. Are they attainable and that type of thing. Out of the Maze, and with Who Moved My Cheese, it was all basically about rethinking your plans, developing new plans and everything. Whereas this is actually changing habits to help you get that, attain that goal. So another good book. And like I said, they're really short reads. You can knock them out in no time. And then that's my nonfiction, my serious readings. So to get on with the fun stuff, just recently here in the last couple of weeks, Adventure Zone. Now, if I'm hoping that some of you have read this already. The first book was The Adventure Zone, Here Be Gerblins. First of all, the McElroys are the family that writes these books. It's based on a podcast by the McElroys. The McElroys are three boys. Well, I call them boys. They're older kids. And their father, who's the DM. And it's a podcast that started out just them doing their adventures. And in fact, Here Be Gerblins, I would say, I don't know if it's actually come out and been said that it's a take on the Lost Mines of Phandelver, or Phandelver, or Phandelvar, however they pronounce it, from the starter kit, the D&D starter kit. And of course, I'm sure for, copyright and trademark infringement rights, they don't come out and actually say that. But yes, the first book is Here Be Gerblins, and then you've got Murder on the Rockport Express, or Rockport Limited, which is kind of a version of Murder on the Orient Express. So a lot of fun books, fun titles there. But this is the third one in the series, and it's called Pedal to the Metal. And basically they're trying to find a master thief who is using an artifact to ransack the city of Goldcliff. And when they get there, they find out that Goldcliff's favorite high stakes, low legality sport is battle wagon racing. And so that's what they get into, and this is battle wagon racing, which I would love to see how they can how you would do that in an actual game. I would love to play that. But that's on my bedside table. I'm reading little snippets of that as I go. Then some serious, more serious stuff, serious sci-fi. This is one that just came out recently. If you see me looking off to this side, that's my monitor camera. There it is, because I've got my written stuff here so I don't go off track. This is How You Lose the Time War. And it's been, first of all, it's a Nebula and Locus Award winner for Best Novella. And it is kind of a little short book there. It is also one of NPR's best books of 2019. And basically it's two time-traveling agents from warring futures working their way through the past. They're basically all working, changing things in the past to make sure that their society is the one that's prevalent in the future. You've got, I can't remember one is called the Guard. Red works for the agency, and it's a post-singularity technotopia, whatever post-singularity means. I'll have to look that one up. And then Blue, the other agent, belongs to the Garden, a single vast consciousness embedded in all organic material. They're two females, and they eventually fall in love with each other, but they exchange letters. And the way they exchange letters is so really cool. For instance, one agent embedded themselves with Genghis Khan for decades. And during that time, they manipulated the growth of a tree so that when the tree was felled decades later, when the other agent came through, the agent recognized the rings on the tree, and that's what spelled the message out. I'm amazed at something like that. I would have never thought, to be able to, of that concept of leaving messages like that. But it's about them falling in love over this vast distance of time, and it's, you know, them both of them are determined to win, but in the end, who really wins if one conquers the other? I'm a few pages into that one. I'm really liking it so far. Pretty good read. Then, if you haven't seen the video that I posted, the new Enola Holmes, which with oh goodness, I forgot to put this on my page. Millie Bobby Brown from that is right, Millie Bobby Brown. Every time somebody's got a name Bobby Brown in it, I keep thinking about Bobby Brown, the singer. Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. She is in the new Sherlock Holmes, or I'm sorry, Enola Holmes movie, where she is the younger teenage sister of Sherlock and Mycroft. And if you haven't seen the video, go back along my feed on Facebook, and you'll find it. It's amazing. It's hilarious. And I showed it to my daughter, and she's excited about it. And to get us prepared for it, book just came out. Although it's been out for a while. In fact, it's got like, this is just one of the different titles out there. And I'm surprised I haven't seen this before. But picked this one up today. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But in fact, yeah, 6 different books on the backside there. This one, which the movie is based on, from what I can tell from reading, it's Enola Holmes and the case of the missing Marquess. And for those of you that didn't know it, a Marquess is higher than an earl, lower than a duke. So figure that one out. But that's another fun one we're reading right now. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to give it to the kid and let her read it. More fun stuff. I am a huge fan of Conan the Barbarian, and this just came out recently, a reprint of one of their epic collections. I think it's, it's reprinting material from 1970. This collects Conan the Barbarian, the 1970 series, volumes 1 through 13, and there's material from the Chamber of Darkness, number 4, which is printed in 69, and basically this is the beginning of the Conan saga. Oops, got a light ring on there. There we go. There. My camera always looks like it's out of focus. But graphic novel, and it's just, I love Conan the Barbarian. I've been reading it ever since I was a kid. In fact, that's probably one of the first comic books I remember picking up when I was actually able to read that kind of stuff, if my mom let me slip it in the grocery cart. That, and then finally, you folks have seen me talk about this. Last week I posted a video of me interviewing Nick Stanishek, and I'm reading his novel. This is Vedra and the Destiny of Nicodemus. And I'm still only on the first chapter, but like I said, each night I'm adding a little bit from all the books, and eventually going to get done here. But this is his. Some of you may know Nick. Nick brought in his Boy Scout troop into the store about 2 or 3, actually it's probably about 3 years back now, 3 or 4. But brought his Boy Scout troop in, and we talked to them all about comic book collecting, and they had a blast. They got comic books. They actually got their own collector's box and some fun stuff. But Nick has now done what so many of us have talked about doing and want to do, and he's actually written a book. And so check out the video for the interview that I did from last week. I'll try to put links to all of this, including the links for that video, in the description of this video. But in the meantime, and also in any of the links that you see for the books in here are going to be affiliate links that go to my bookshop.org/AGCD. And that is my bookshop.org affiliate store. Any of the links that you click on will take you there. And then if you purchase that book, I get a small pittance thrown back at me for suggesting it. And then out of all the sales that go through bookshop.org, go to independent bookstores all across the United States and probably further to help them in their times of COVID-19 and just help them fight against Amazon. And I'll admit, I still shop with Amazon sometimes, but it's only when I can't get it anywhere else. I do try to help my bookstores and comic book shops when I can get to them and when they're close by. And so remember your favorite local comic book shops, bookstores, game stores. Think about them, help them out as best you can. whether it be buying stuff from them or just talking about them and telling other people about them. That's one thing I can't stress enough. Granted, you may not have the money to buy from them and spend with them, but tell other people about them, and we'll all get through this. Again, tell us what you're reading. Granted, hopefully not as much as I'm reading at one time, and this will go down, and I'll try to keep it down to 2 or 3 books next time. But again, let us know what you're reading out there. What's something that you're excited about, you're having fun with, that you'd like to let us know, and maybe we can check out ourselves. Again, blessings to everyone in Louisiana and Southeast Texas. And I know I've still got friends back home that are still without power. And so hopefully they'll come through this okay. Again, read more comics, play more games, read more books, and let your geek flag fly. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.